Nubia comes in, takes Amar from India and liberates it and has now made peace. So India lives to fight another day. But I can't help but feel that, oh yeah, India and Persia as well. It's India really is just living now. But Persia, I feel like Persia's units are so far south and they've lost so many against India. But if Nubia were to attack Persia, I mean, that would go very badly wrong for Persia very quickly. Called it! Oh, also France is going after China. That's interesting. Can France get any purchase here? I mean, I just don't think they've got an army. What are they doing? Like, no. I mean, China just has armies of crouching tigers on the border. France, you can send a heavy chariot down there all you want, but it's only going to meet one end, and that's at the end of the barrel of gunpowder. Poor Persia will last against these knight units. Approximately, I would say about 15 turns. If that city falls, if their capital falls, everything else is just going to be decimated because the combat strength here is 20 something. The knights will run through it. Yeah, just in one turn they lost the entire wall and half its health, and that's in the capital. That's in a city that's built to defend against these type of attacks. Nubia might well take over Persia here. Here we go. Can they do it? It's completely encircled by knights. Yeah, they're going to do it. There we go. Right, so the capital has fallen, and look, one knight has just taken, what is that? About quarter of the wall in one attack, without a battering ram or anything. I mean, Nubia are going to pick up this city here, Sparta, very easily. They're going to pick up this one, I would reckon. This might be a little bit more difficult, this city here, because there's only one tile that it has access to. So the computer... Oh, no, scrap that. They have an ironclad. Okay, scrap that. So by declaring war on China, all that France have done is opened them up to the assault from their very considerably powerful navy. Brussels would be a good win for China. They'd be able to pick that up and really run with it. But, oh no, Persia and Nubia have made peace. Oh, Nubia, what are you doing? What are you doing? That was a chance to wipe them out. But, I mean, maybe they don't want to. Nubia now in control of 3 capitals and probably about a third of the map in terms of size. So their next logical target is to go for India. China's made peace of India, although that battle was about as boring as you could get. And Sparta is now lost. So, you know what? Maybe Nubia, there's a little bit of common sense here. They knew that this city would fall anyway because of loyalty issues. So, I mean, it's quite possible that they're just going to casually pick this one up and then go after India. But I think they might be going after India, you know. Oh my god, that's ruin. It belongs to France and it's actually stable. It has loyalty. We didn't think it was possible, but it is. It is possible. France, back in this with 8 cities now. In fact, actually more than China. Considering they were down to 2 at one point, it's a very impressive sort of spread again. It's just Brussels is going to be lost eventually. France, no. France decide to declare war on India before their border with China is safe. I mean, I feel like that's more sentimental / for vision, or for more from image than it is anything else, but I mean, we'll see. And there we go. As we expected, Nubia declares war on India. So, I mean, India have had time to move all of their troops to the front line, but these knight armies are tough. Really tough. Even against Bavaria, a couple of knights will take down a crossbow easily. Yeah. Did they give them too long to panic? Armagh was taken. That's interesting. So, that's probably why Nubia didn't want to wait any longer. India just casually taking Armagh back into its empire, which Nubia have already liberated once, so they're not going to be too happy about that. But come on, Nubia, your army is huge. There's no need to keep all of these troops here on the border. Just bring them over, come and attack India. It's all good. But actually, look, the troops can, in theory, get all the way around here and attack these 2 cities on the coast. So that'd be quite cool. And no pressure, Nubia, but you've got to keep up with Catherine because she has this city surrounded and with good effect as well. It's going to be tough. Actually, looking around, India's army is scattered few and far between. They are spread very thin, like a very, very thin spread of butter across toast, and you kind of go, what was the point of that? I don't know. It's interesting how... Yeah, that's really thinly spread. So at some point, India are going to capitulate. Look, Delhi has now already almost been taken by France. You can see Armagh actually is being fairly well defended, but Palanque is going to come help there. So now that Sparta has fallen, you can see the Nubian army is going to advance on Calcutta, and from there, Calcutta, there's no defense. They're going to be straight into Patna before you know it. And just to make these things worse for poor old Persia down south there, their city is going to rebel. That's actually their capital, and it's going to rebel in 19 turns. Oh, Persia. Persia, don't Persia even have, like, bonuses to loyalty if you occupy a city? Is that a thing? I feel like that might be a thing. Delhi has fallen to Catherine, and her army shows no sign of stopping, although it is a little bit technologically behind. There's pikemen having to go up against pike and shot. I mean, those guys have guns, but they do have pike and shot. It's just France hasn't upgraded everybody yet. Okay, it's just that the computer is being the computer. Calcutta, oh my god, did you see just that swarm of troops come in from Nubia now? Here they come. Although those pike and shot will really damage the knights. So I think Nubia they've got to think about diversifying their army out a little bit and really focusing on those pike and shots, because those will cut through the knights. So crossbows against them and the knights against the cities maybe? I mean, yeah, wow, it's they've got to be careful. Oh, I love when that happens. A 2-city siege, just like 2-unit siege, I should say, across one city. Just one knight and one pikeman unit. And this city, okay, it's no longer under siege, but you get the idea. God, Nubia's army just battered back by those pike and shot. Look, they're really having to just reinforce right now. That's a real repel. Nubia they've got to think about this again. These knights, they're not good enough. They've got to upgrade. Now, what's the upgrade to knight? Is it tank? You go straight from horses to tank. I think it's the one, isn't it? So maybe they've got to think about that before they go any further. But yeah, there we go. India, peace with Nubia. So they've even given up on Armagh. A failed war from Nubia there, and India very ably keeping Nubia at bay. It's a shame because France have taken Delhi, but it means they can kind of push back on sort of that direction now, although China looking like they're bringing an army to start invading India as well. So India just in the middle of the map and really being squeezed right now. Nubia have planes. There we go. So weird, they've got knights and crossbows, but they can also fly. I feel like there's a hole missing in the technology tree here. Meanwhile, in Persia, it's all going wrong. Poor Persia. France just can't get enough of this old Chinese war. They keep opening it up, and China are just way in advance of France right now. That city there has 80 strength, which means that somewhere China have a very powerful unit. I mean, it could be frigates. I don't think it's frigates. It's likely to be something else. I mean, they do also have swordsmen, so maybe China are not as strong as we thought. And these Imperial Guard, those things are tough. Especially on their home continent, they've got a real advantage there, so maybe not as bad as we thought. Although China has just taken Brussels, and I get the feeling that Preslav, I think that is France's ally, so they could well be next. Oh my god, I didn't even notice this, so just off the coast of Nubia, right, just down south. Look at this! China and France both have a city down here. That's ambitious. I love that. Actually, whoa, Calais. Calais could possibly be one of the most strategically important cities on the map. That is a canal that converts this sea into this sea. In fact, China, why didn't you settle like one to the north of that, or maybe two to the north? That would have been the perfect canal city. Weird they didn't do that, but yeah, fair enough. So France with the vision there. They're not going to be able to hold it, unfortunately, but cool nonetheless. Preslav now falls to China as well. So we've got submarines and we've got frigates. Now off the coast of Toulouse. France don't get out of this war quickly, and they're not pushing on the land very well at all. This navy, it's just going to keep coming round and keep destroying them. In fact, now that I think about it, even Paris is completely exposed to the sea because it's been settled right on the coast there. So now these frigates, especially this frigate Armada, is that going to be able to do any damage to Paris? I kind of hope so. I really want to see China just, either France or China, decimate the other, really do well. Look, Toulouse is taking damage now, so this could happen. This could be where China pulls this game together. Especially now France it's got capitulation issues. It's lost Delhi. It's about to lose Brunei as well, so China's going to pick up a city here. India's probably going to pick up a city here. France's empire very rapidly shrinking, and it's going to almost drop to 6 cities within a couple of turns. So here we go. Submarines now starting to file on Toulouse. Give that city maybe 2 turns and those walls will be off and it's going to be under real pressure. Oh, if I was Nubia, I would want to immediately get my hands on Calais. And they are beginning to send ironclads down here now, but if that city, if they could take that, this would be able to move all of their navy from one side of the map to the other. And I think you can, yeah, this passage is available, so India control this passage around the bottom of the map. And to my knowledge, there is no single route across the top of the map. Oh, no, actually, no, there is. There is a nice flare that goes all the way across. India has declared war on Persia, so it's actually India that's going to be the one to take out Persia. Well, they're going to try to, but Nubia is the one that has surrounded them. So I don't think India's going to get very far with that one, unfortunately for them. Oh, wow, yeah. Look at this, Toulouse, almost on 0%. Paris with its walls down now as well. So yeah, Toulouse has been flipped, and actually the loyalty there is going to be no problem at all. So Paris is next up, and China is going to get itself a capital. How often have we seen that? France and China make peace, Paris on 0 health, but China with no melee unit. I get the feeling that France might have given a lot away in that peace deal, because normally when a civ's capital is on 0 health like that, they will just give anything to have peace. And unfortunately for Persia, they go out with a whimper, losing their last city to loyalty, which will inevitably flip to Nubia, giving them, well, even more of the map. So let's just have a little count, shall we, of Nubian cities. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I might have counted that wrong, but I count 22 cities for Nubia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For India, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for China, and 5 for France, and 0 for Persia and Norway. So yeah, this map really, one clear winner at the moment. I'm just amazed that Nubia haven't upgraded, but actually no, I say that, they've got mechanized infantry. I'm just amazed they're not chucking mechanized infantry against India right now. I mean, even China's going to war with India. And they don't have any tech. I mean, they're sending pike and shot after anti-tank crews, which tells you everything you need to know about that one. Just as India get distracted to going to war with France, and oh my god, look at that battleship fleet. Oh, potty mouth, Ryan, goodness me. Yeah, France is now being gobbled up quite distinctly by all of the neighbouring powers. Ruin, again, has got rebellion issues. Brunei has flipped to China. India just in one turn took Jaipur back. And these battleships, they're going to wreck these French cities on the coast. So I'm expecting a total wipeout of France here. Yeah, unless something really happens, they're going to be left with a lot of cities and nobody to put in them. I love looking at these just random bits of wall that China tries to put down everywhere. And I mean, the problem it's got is that its territory just ever expands. So they're always in the wrong place. But you know what, actually putting it in the desert like this is not a bad idea. Culture and gold from a desert tile. Could be worse. India, very interestingly, decides that its naval superiority is too much to throw at France at this time. The computer likes having a war, winning one single city, and then going, nope, that's exactly what I wanted to win. No more than that, just one. One city and we're all fine. It's very strange decision making there. Oh my god, look at this Indian fleet down here. Oh wow. If India decided to go to war with Nubia, they would have to get a navy very quickly. The city that India fought that entire war for, they've just lost. Oh, how many times did we send that? Oh, and look over here, Toulouse has been lost from China as well. What is the point? Give it 10 turns and France will win both of their cities back and all will be exactly the same as if nothing had ever changed. Auckland had been living peacefully for about 500 years in the middle of Nubian territory and they just went, nope, no more, we're going to take it over, and bam, it's gone. Harsh, very harsh that. China made peace with India, but being honest, they've been at war with 20 turns and I'd completely forgotten about it because nothing was happening. Yeah, nothing really happening in this game at the moment. No wars. India's kind of just sat here in the middle, mourning over the loss of... Oh, scratch that. India's just gone after Nubia. That's an interesting one because that gives India some movement and combat penalties bonuses doing that. So can India do this? What are we really looking at? I'm concerned by the field cannon, I'll be honest, and also by the fact that Nubia have all these planes and mechanized infantry and all this sort of stuff, and is already beginning to charge tanks in. This might backfire on India, but you never know. No, they just seem to be coming in and attacking the city quite bravely. Credit to them. I mean, there is mechanized infantry right next to you as you're attacking the city, so that's not going to go well for you, but still. Well, that was a good one from Nubia here. 5 tanks surrounding the city, all 5 attacking the city, losing about half their health each. And it did no damage to the city at all. Actually, no, scrap that, it did 8 out of 200 damage. Yeah, it's called siege equipment. Why don't you look into it? Guys, if there was one mod that you could do on this game, it would be making the AI ignore walls or like siege issues, because it's just by far the biggest issue we've got in this game. Well, I think that sums up this semi-final and the way it's ended quite perfectly. We're at turn 192, so we're a little bit away from the end of the sort of technical semi-final, but I think we'd all agree who's won here. I mean, even though they couldn't really engage in a super late game war, Nubia, they've almost got 30 cities, they've got 3 capitals. I'm quite willing to say that Nubia won this. Persia, or sort of where Persia was, it was an unfortunate start for them. I was very much expecting Persia to, especially that early game war, being able to really take advantage, but just couldn't get into it. And France as well, very much squished between 2 very aggressive powers in China and India there. They kind of pulled themselves from the brink. I was impressed. They were on 2 cities and managed to push themselves. They've got a comfortable 6 at the moment, and at one point had 8 or 9. So yeah, credit to France. But really, it's now a decision between whether or not we put through India or China. Now, India, I think, impressed me more than China. China did all right, don't get me wrong. They expanded well, but mostly they expanded and took city-states. On multiple occasions, they kind of had supremacy over France and didn't take it. India, very much the same issues. They had a lot of issues with not sort of attacking very well, but they did also take a couple of cities from France, even though they lost them eventually. They waged a fair, decent war. The problem is that I'd give India more credit than China because they were in the middle of the map, which is generally a harder start, being squished in the middle of the map like this. So Nubia go through. I think we're going to keep an eye on India to see whether or not they go through, whether they make one of the 2 wildcard places, but let me know your thoughts. I'm always interested to hear whether or not you think I've got the right analysis on this, but until next time and the last semi-final, I hope you guys are good, looking as chilled and just amazing as ever. Maybe, I don't know what any of you look like. You could all be horrible, you could all be ogres, I don't know. I know I'm an ogre. There's a reason why you don't see my face in these videos, it's because it's interesting. So I shall see you next time. Bye!